Hey, it's One Plucky Pixel here, and welcome back to another creative design tutorial. In today's video, we will cover object selection and how to manage masking hair. As you can see, we do have our model here, and we do have our background here as well. So to start things off, we do want to remove all of this gray background over here. One really cool trick is using the object selection tool. It's over here in the left panel. I'm just going to click it like so. I'm going to move my mouse over to my canvas and click and drag to highlight the model, just like that. And upon release, there will be an auto selection, just like this. I can then go to select and mask. I'm going to use this to refine my mask. And as you can see, the red area indicates where the mask is occurring. I can also change the color over here. Let's try a bright green, just like that. Now keep in mind that this green does not appear on your canvas. This is only to show the current mask. I'm going to use Command+ to zoom in. And from here you can see that there are some errors. You can see areas where the green is actually seeping through. We want to bring back some of this hair over here. I'm going to use the Refine Mask tool over here, just like that. And once more zooming in, I'm going to click and drag on the areas that are green, just like this. And very slowly, you will see them removed. Now moving over to this side of the model, I'm actually going to demonstrate the brush tool. It actually behaves just like the paintbrush tool in Photoshop, and it is also another way to paint in areas on your mask. In this case, I'll just go in like this and paint back some of that hair. I can get a nice clean edge just like this. I can also change my brush. I can actually lower the hardness. Lowering the hardness actually creates a softer edge. So in this case, if I go back in, we now have a softer edge as I adjust the mask. And just like that, the hair is slowly coming back in place. I'm going to add some back in over here as well. And again, I can even make my brush larger and even softer if I need to, just like that. Alright, and with that, I think my model is in a good place right now. Once I'm all set, I'm going to hit OK. And the mask will then auto update. In this case, I'm going to zoom back in. And I'm going to use the Quick Mask tool over here. So ensure that your selection is still active and that you're on the correct layer, which is the model. And then we select the Quick Mask tool. And just like that, she is cut out. Now you will notice that there are some problem areas that still exist. We do have some areas of hair over here with little bits of gray peeping through, and fortunately we can fix that. In this case, what I'm actually going to do is duplicate the layer. I'm going to right click, duplicate layer, and select OK. I'm going to toggle off the original layer, and in this case I want to use the Magic Eraser tool. Unfortunately, it does not work on a smart object, which this is currently. So if you have images that are smart objects, they are indicated by this icon over here. To use certain tools, sometimes you have to rasterize your layer. So I'm actually going to do two different steps over here. I'm going to right click, select rasterize. I'm also going to apply my mask. I will click on my mask like so, right click, and apply layer mask. Now in this case, the mask is no longer. When we apply a mask, it actually deletes the pixels on the original image. In this case, I'm going to zoom in. Right about here is good. And then I will employ the Magic Eraser tool. So it's currently under the Eraser tool over here. If you click and hold, you can then select the Background Eraser tool, which is currently what we're using. you want to use the continuous sampling option over here. You can also change your tolerance, which is how strong the eraser will work. In this case, I'm going to float my eraser over here and gently erase this area, just like so. Now I can pinpoint some of the gray. I can actually get in over here and erase it like this. If I increase my tolerance, the eraser will actually behave more aggressively. It will take out more of those tones that I don't want. Now please be wary, this is quite a long process, so I will speed through it. As a word of advice, you can actually hover your mouse fairly close to the hair, and if you make a mistake, for example if I do something like this, I can always use Command Z to undo. It will not undo all of my erasing, however it will erase the last keystroke. In some cases, I can also lower my brush size like this, and that will help me get those finer details. Now in some instances, you may want to do a point sample instead. In this case, I'm going to select the option over here and select sampling once. As opposed to continuous, which continuously samples pixels as you go, this will take a point sample. For instance, we do have a little bit of white over here, so I can actually click on that portion to remove it, just like that. I would say that this method is a little bit more precise, however, you can definitely alternate between both options. Moving over here, I will use the same technique, using the magic eraser tool over here, specifically the background eraser. I'm using this to catch some areas of gray that are seeping through. Alright, it's been a pretty tedious process, but overall I am fairly happy with the result. Now there is one issue, however. In this case, this is our active layer, and as you can see, there is no current mask. For instance, if I use the regular eraser tool, which is currently selected, let's say by accident I do this. Let's say that I also forget that this happened. I go ahead, I make more edits, I add in more images, and unfortunately, I start to run out of history states over here. Unfortunately, I cannot correct this. We do want to have this as a layer mask instead of just a regular layer. So in this case, I will use Command Z. I'm going to click on the original layer that we have here. Notice that this layer is still a smart object. However, it also has a layer mask. We're going to first remove this mask. I'm going to click on the mask, right-click, and select Delete Layer Mask. Now I will hold Command and click on the model. I'm going to click on the copy of the model over here. Now ensure that the selection is active, like this, and ensure that the original layer is now selected. And from there, I'm going to use my quick mask, just like that. And if we toggle off our layer and turn on our original layer, our model does retain all of the edits that we made. Now, for example, let's say I do this. Let's say I edit my mask over here, and by accident I do this. Obviously, we don't want this to happen. She is partially transparent on her face. In this case, because this is a mask, we can undo that. We're going to use black and white swatches on our mask, and we're utilizing the regular paintbrush tool over here. In this case, to repair the mistake, all I have to do is switch between my black and white swatches. I'll switch it like so. Of course, I have the regular brush tool selected, and then I proceed to paint it back in, just like that. Now additionally, I can go ahead and refine other areas as well if I would like. For instance, there's a little bit of grain over here, and I can actually remove that. Also, in this case, we have zoomed in too closely. You can see that there is a pixel grid appearing. If you would like to remove this, you certainly can do so. You select View, Show, and ensure that pixel grid is now deselected. And now we can more clearly see our image. In this case, I will use my regular brush tool. I'm going to flip my fills over here. In this case, if you are working with masks, black conceals and white reveals. And now I can actually get rid of this grain. I'm just using a smaller, soft edge brush. Just like so. I'll now go ahead and make some final adjustments, and we will be back shortly. Now in some areas, you may notice I can actually use this smudge tool. This is very effective at blending in more complex pixels like this area over here. For instance, I may choose to smudge this area of the hair, and you can see that it does work on the mask. Like I said, this is great for softening up some rougher edges in your original mask. Alright, at this point I am fairly happy with my image. I will go ahead and delete the duplicated layer. This layer over here is no longer necessary. I'm just going to click it and select the trash can icon. I then select yes, and just like that we are all set. Now notice that this is still a smart object over here, and we still have our mask in place. The mask will always allow us to make further edits if we need to, unlike the eraser tool. Of course, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out in the comments below, and I hope to see you in the next tutorial. As always, thank you so much for watching.